What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Sunday. Coach Jesse here. I have a very rare few free minutes, and I wanted to pop in and talk about something that is really exciting for me, and I want to share my opinion on it because I think sometimes, or I see through a lot of comments. I think a lot of people are mixed up, and I want to share with you my tips and tricks and thoughts about intermittent fasting, nutritional cellular cleansing, kind of all the same thing. As you come in, drop in, let me know where you're coming in from, say hello. If you find things throughout this, drop them into the comments. But I recently put up a post in our group and I asked the question, my curious mind would love to know, why do you cleanse? And that's my topic. So let's dive into this. Okay. And man, I got over 40 different comments and it was amazing to see. People shared, it clears my brain fog when it sneaks back in, increases energy and improves my mood. I feel better. I have more energy, better focus, increased productivity and efficiencies. If you've cleansed before, if you've fasted before in some way, shape, or form, drop into the comments, why do you cleanse? What does it do for you? Somebody shared to get out all the crap that bogs you down. Amazing. Somebody shared to push back my brain fog, then take a break, and sometimes from mindless eating. And that happens when I'm on the go and at work. I thought that was an amazing insight as to why you choose to fast. And there could be, there's no right or wrong answer. Somebody said, for the benefits that my body gets from each stage, I particularly find my focus on the stage of autophagy. I like that when that I can do something that allows my cells to help me prevent diseases as I age. Okay, amazing. Clarity, amazing. Reset, amazing. All of these things are right. All of these things are right. I put up a post the other day and I talked to you about the different stages of fasting, how we can reset our hormones, how we can get control of our insulin, how we can regulate our human growth hormone, how we can activate autophagy. There's no doubt that that actually happens, and there's plenty of science to back that up. However, I want to just put a different twist on this because I think sometimes we fall into the trap of, especially in health and wellness, where we take something like fasting, and I think that there's a lot of parts of fasting that are underrated, and I think there's other parts of it that are overhyped and over promoted. And I think what happens is when we look at the world today and we start to get into the overhype and over promoted part, we can tend to do something that's really beneficial for us, and we can do it for too long. We can actually over abuse that healthy thing, and it's going to sometimes backfire on us and not actually give us the results that it is that we're looking for. So the thing that I think that is underrated with fasting, again, it's powerful. But what does it really do? For me, and for what I've witnessed it do for many other people now, is when you can fast successfully, when you can cleanse successfully, you are gaining so much power. You are gaining so much power. And, we got to just kind of call it as it is today. Like, we live in a world where, there's food engineers that are paid a ridiculous amount of money to put just the right amount of sugar. They put just the right amount of flour, just the right amount of grain. Like, everything is designed to get you and I to eat it with our eyes, to not be able to pass it by, to, really be tempted by that brownie or cookie or cheesecake or ice cream or whatever, Doritos, cheese poofs, crackers, right? What the hell, those Cheez-Its, right? I mean, shit, when I ate that stuff, I could eat an entire box and it could go down like it was nothing. And I never really realized. So fasting for me is so powerful because after a period of time, when you can go for an extended period of time and you can say no and you can pass up temptations and you can walk by things and not get tempted by them. And I get people struggle with that to this day. People have admitted to me in that post, like, look, like, I'm not good. I can only make it till lunchtime. I'm a picker. I'm this. You're labeling yourself as I'm this. But when you can fast and when you can successfully cleanse for 24 hours, 48 hours, some people have gone longer. People do 3-day water fast. There's all sorts of different ways. And there's no one way that's right or wrong, or it's whatever way works for a person. But I think the most powerful piece of this that we all forget is that it puts us back in control. So like today, when I went out to breakfast with my family, I stuck to my eggs and my bacon. And, I was really tempted at the counter because this place makes all of their own pastries. This place makes their homemade coffee cake, which looks so good. And they had these amazing cookies that were literally the size of my head. And they looked amazing. Like one of my treats back in the day was chocolate chip cookies. And I literally I was tempted still to this day. People think I'm not tempted. I don't know what people think, right? They think that because I do something, like I don't have issues with food and I don't have cravings and I don't have struggles. And that's the furthest from the truth. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I was tempted, but because I'm in control, because my blood sugars are regulated, because 90% of the time I'm doing what I got to do, because I schedule fasting into my regimen once a quarter, and I don't abuse it, and I create those stimuluses and I create those hard environments, I have built up a resiliency to where I can then make tough decisions. And in a world today where, again, this isn't trying to blow it up, but like we're not at an advantage when it comes to getting tempted by all these foods. I mean, think about it. Like, think about how hard it is. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of SKUs that are in the market, and they're fucking tempting, right? Like we fall victim to those things. It's easy to do. So I think one of the most underrated things is the willpower that we grow, that muscle, that mental mindset muscle that we grow by successfully being able to fast and to get through that and to work ourselves through that and to overcome those temptations and overcome those struggles and get to the end and say, holy crap, I did that. I did that. I was successful at that. Knowing damn well that it was hard, that's one of the most underrated things of fasting, I believe, right? Is that mental ability, especially in the world. So let me know if that's resonating with you, because I think so many people get hung up on just all the health things. And that's one of the things I think is actually overhyped. Now, mind you, I am a huge proponent of fasting. I am 100% on board. I think it's actually one of the most powerful tools that every single one of us possesses in our ultimate longevity health toolbox. But with that being said, I think that sometimes it's overhyped. And I think that this thing about autophagy, right? Is autophagy amazing? Yes. Can we activate it during cleansing? Yes. But have you ever asked, like, what's the price to pay? Are we taking away energy from mitochondria? If we do it for too long, are we putting lean muscle at bay? And people are going to go, Jesse, the studies. I'm going to go, okay. But studies are studies and life is life. And when you take real people and you take them out of controlled environments and you put them into what I've seen with coaching, where kids get in the way and life gets in the way and sports gets in the way and work gets in the way and significant others get in the way and everything else gets in the way, then we have to start to understand, right? So the willpower thing is even more important because it's going to help you through other things. But, things like autophagy, we have to remember that can actually be created through exercise as well. You can stimulate autophagy through exercise. So I think it's overhyped with that, in that context. And then people get so hyper focused on, oh my God, I got to do autophagy. and they start to fast too often. And if you start to do too often of prolonged fasts, you're going to create not the result that you're looking for. And this is why, there was a time where I got really into fasting, and I would fast like literally 2 to 3 days for a couple times a month. And I thought that was the longevity, and that's what we were learning, and that's what was going on. But as time has gone on and I've become more educated, I've learned that while that is an amazing stressor to the body, and while there are amazing things that happen, all of the processes, my voice just cracked, sorry, all of the processes that are activated during fasting can also be done through other means, whether it's exercise or calorie restriction or whatever. Like, somebody didn't lose 190 pounds because they fasted versus calorie deficit. You can do that in calorie deficit as well. Fasting is just one of these like amazing tools that we have. I'm so glad you needed to hear this, whoever you are, I can't see. But fasting is one of these amazing tools that we have in our toolbox that when it's time and when you're able to pull it out and put it into proper play, it's going to be very, very beneficial for you. So that's one of the key things. But understand, fasting is just one of these amazing things that can activate all of these beautiful health markers in a very simplistic way. And I think that's what works the best for so many people, is the simplicity behind it, right? It just works better for some people. For me, it just works better. Like, I don't want to count calories. I don't want to do that again. Like, I have fucking nightmares about that when I was trying to, when I was attempting bodybuilding. Like, I don't want to count every piece of food. So I can implore these things like fasting around my daily choices. And my daily choices are high quality rocket fuel, high quality protein. I don't really eat added sugars. I don't eat grains. I'm not a big fan of grain. Every now and then I'll have white rice, but I love sweet potatoes and I love some vegetables. And I eat that around all my high quality proteins and my grass-fed meats and, my pasture-raised chickens and all of that. So it's when you implement that. That's why I love the fact that we did once a quarter. Now, with that being said, there are certain people that can benefit from maybe grouping some together. But you have to remember that fasting is a stress on the body. It's a can't think of a hormonic stress on the body, which means that it creates inflammation. It creates other factors while creating the good as well. So it's one of those stressors. Like, exercise is a stress on the body, but we know through research, we know that we need to move our body. Like, we know that stress and that building back from that stress is a benefit to the body. That's a stress that we want to have. But if you're just, yes, raises cortisol, like, you can do all these things in reverse if you're abusing something, right? So you really got to kind of play with this and not get so sold into the hype. Like, if you're only doing it because you think that's the only way to autophagy, or that's the only way that you can reset brain fog, or that's the only way, and you're selling yourself on just that, I think you're missing one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle, which is the resiliency. But if you do it too much and you become addicted, that's not healthy either, right? Like, we want to create balance. That's really what the game of health is all about. So over the last 20 years, I've had stages where I went too hard. I went too deep. It was too much lifting. It was too much running. It was too much of the same type of diet. And over time, I've learned that really the magical puzzle, the magic piece, if you want the magic to health, to vibrant, amazing, ultimate health, then it's about creating balance. That's what I want you guys to kind of take away from that. So if you find that you're cleansing too often, don't do that anymore. I would highly recommend that you don't do that. You're not using it as the tool that it is designed to be. And that's what I'm hoping to bring to you. Yes, there's amazing benefits. There's no denying the science. There's no denying the fact that we can regulate insulin. We can increase our human growth hormone. Yes, we can activate autophagy. That's not what this is about. It's not what this is about. But just don't get sold into the bigger hype of like, I have to do that because of this. No, there's many years of my life that I did not use fasting. I did not use cleansing, and I was in great shape. I was in good health. Now I've learned to use it to really sharpen the blades, get me on the best path, use it every quarter, get some crap out of my body, let my body have a rest. Like at the end of the day, as a human, like we were designed to fast. You also can incorporate some daily fasting. Now, I wouldn't recommend, again, going too extreme with this, but like for some of you that are looking for, a large amount of weight loss, can you extend your sleep fast? That's another thing we don't take, really look at is like every single day when you're done with your last bite. So if you stop dinner at 7 o'clock and you don't eat until whatever time the next morning, you just fasted for that many hours. So if you went from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock the next morning, what is that, 13 hours or something like that? You just did a 13-hour fast. Congratulations. You actually hit the first step of fasting, and you've added that benefit. So is that a benefit that you could take from fasting versus having to go all the way to the end too often? Could you just take your nightly fast and expand your breakfast out a little bit? Could you stop eating earlier in the day? And for people that are looking, if people know that they overeat, right? That's a thing that can really help you. Again, I'm not big myself on times or restriction because I'm in maintenance. Like I worked hard, like I'm in maintenance and that's what I do. But can you use these tools in different parts of your life, and can you maneuver them so that way they make the most sense for you and it's fitting into your life the best way and you're getting the best benefit? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. I hope you got some value out of this. Smash the share button, tag some people, drop your comments into the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.